welcome. Thank you so much for joining us on the High ROI course. And this is actually the resume part of the High ROI system. So I know a lot of you out there are really concerned with your resume, and for good reason. Up until this point, your resume has been probably the most important part of your job search. And that's one of those things that we tend to obsess over when we're not familiar with the ins and outs of the job hunting market. Going into this, we are going to be focusing on the resume. We're starting here because this is the material that you probably already have and understand how to utilize, at least in its base mechanics. So most of you, I would say probably 99% of you, are going to job boards, your job board du jour, be it Monster, Indeed, Glassdoor, ZipRecruiter, what have you. You're finding the jobs that you think are a match within the job description. You're uploading your resume and you're sending that sucker along. And that's typical. Like I said, 99% of applicants do this. However, on the other side of that, you have the recruiter, who is sitting there and for every single job opening, as we've discussed before, gets about 200 to 250 applications for a single open position. That is a lot of resumes that you have to go through. So when you're looking at that list, having this document and having things actually make sense, being able to be scanned, being able to be present, being able to be articulate, being able to get past applicant tracking systems and into human hands for review. That's a lot of stuff that your resume is up against. So it makes sense that you're feeling some anxiety over your resume, and when your job search isn't going so well, this is usually the first place that people come back to. They want to look at their resume, try to workshop it, figure out what's going wrong. So that's what we're going to do here, and we're going to take a different approach, because where other people tend to get this wrong is that they spend so much time catering to rewriting their resume because they think that it's the thing that's not getting them progress. There are entire sections dedicated to other high return activities that you can do. So the approach here is that we're going to create what I like to call the master resume, which is all of your experience, all of your history, everything that you can think of regarding professional skills, transferable skills, computer language, from everything that you've ever done, not only professionally, but through volunteer work, through maybe some of your education, some of the courses you've had, things that you've learned at conferences, even stuff that you've just picked up here and there. That all actually counts because it's stuff in the world of things you know how to do. And that a lot of people tend to devalue. So we're going to create that master resume. Then we're going to learn how to take that and take it out and move it apart so we have job-specific and industry-specific resumes. I like to call those the resume babies. Sometimes you'll hear me refer to them as the shotgun resumes, because this is going to have 80% of what people are looking for in the recruiter chair for those job positions. But 80% isn't 100%. And when you're looking at 200 applicants, that's still a pool of 40 people that we have to narrow down to about 10 or so to bring into in-person interviews. So that's why the last part of the resume refining is what I like to call the sniper rifle resume. So this last part of the course, we're actually going to go ahead and take those job-specific resumes, and then we're going to make them company and role-specific. Very, very granular, very streamlined, really speaking to the person sitting in the recruiting chair saying, hey, I'm the person for you right here. Everything that you said, I know how to do. So I know that sounded a little bit crazy, but I promise this is a very, very normal process. It's something that you're all going to be able to use over and over again in your professional career. And as you go throughout and learn more and grow in your career, you're going to come back to that master resume. You're actually going to go ahead and piece in the new things that you learn. So it's always up to date, because that's going to go into part of your plan B, a future lesson of what are you doing to keep yourself protected in case you lose your job, get burnt out at your job, decide to switch roles, all of those types of things that tend to happen in our professional career. So over time, it should take a couple of hours within your week. And I want you to go ahead and already find a quiet, dedicated space where you can actually give yourself, half hour to an hour of actual focus on this at a time. If you got to lock yourself in your closet and hide from your kids, if you need to go to a coffee shop, whatever it is, I'm not going to judge. But you need to be able to get in a place where you can really focus on yourself with no distractions. So I don't want you listening to podcasts. I don't want you trying to text your friends or anything like that. You need to be zoned in order for this to work. I do have down below some of the things that you're going to probably want. Pretty basic stuff, but go ahead and give that a look. And we will move on to the next part of what you're probably getting wrong in your resume.